Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive news show with Les BSery. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn, and today's show is just like last week's show, where it's just shooting the breeze, chilling out, talk different subjects, but this is really not formatted. We're just chilling out. So if you come on, get your favorite beverage up, get your favorite cigar, or whatever it is that you smoke, wink, wink, and we're just going to chill out tonight. Again, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, please let me know what your name is so I can address you accordingly. And let's start with the one subject that I wanted to talk about, which everybody's talking about, is the Shakira Richardson being suspended for a month for testing for failing a marijuana test. I'm really just dumbfounded about it because we already got people in arms talking about, well, that was the rules. She should have followed the rules. She should have listened. That was the way it is. Let's just put it in another perspective that the rule was stupid, is ancient. It has no effect whatsoever. And we have proven time and time again that I can understand if you're putting a certain drug on the ban list for the Olympics for being performance enhancing. Marijuana chills you out. Marijuana makes you tired. Marijuana makes you relax. Marijuana makes you think clearly. In other words, there's nothing about marijuana that's performance enhancing. So to even still have that on the list as a banned substance is old, it's outdated, and it shouldn't be on the list to begin with. So yeah, she may have broken the rule, but once again, it's a rule that shouldn't exist anyway. And here's what upsets me so much about that. You have no problem banning marijuana use, but we have already discovered that alcohol usage is more dangerous towards a person than marijuana, beyond a shadow of a doubt. So when you have Michael Phillips, who, and I'm not jumping or picking or I'm using him as an example. I'm not degrading him at all, because alcoholism is a disease. It's not something to take lightly. But you don't ban alcohol. And in most sports, what do the first thing they do when you see teams win championships and everything else? First thing they do is pop open a bottle of champagne and shake it over everybody's head. Nobody has a problem with alcohol when it comes to doing things in sports, but marijuana, which has already been proven time and time again to be more helpful than hurtful, especially if you're comparing it towards alcohol, oh no, that's a banned substance. So not only is she banned for a month, which here's another underlying story, and I'm shocked that I haven't read it anywhere else. I did hear about it. Technically, she's supposed to be banned for 4 years. That is the normal ban. At the very least, she should be banned for 3 years. Now, both of them, obviously, you're going to miss the Olympics this year. The only reason why they said for her to be banned for a month is she has to go to a drug treatment facility or drug rehab. And if she passed drug rehab, then she will be banned for a month. So again, now we have to jump through hoops for something that shouldn't even be banned to begin with. And I hate that she went on to the Today Show today and apologized to people, saying, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm only human, which in fact, yeah, you are only human, and you did what a normal human being or what some human beings would do in a state that's legal after losing your biological mother. That's most normal humans Majority of humans in that situation would do just that. But they don't want you to be human. They want you to be subhuman, get over it, move on with your life, I guess. Or in other words, again, marijuana is bad. Alcohol isn't. So if she was to go and get pissed drunk, blackout drunk, no problem whatsoever. She smoked marijuana in a state that is legal to smoke marijuana. Now we have an issue and we have to ban you. And I heard this on the radio, and it was kind of funny because it stuck out to me. Marijuana stays in your system for a extremely long time. So it's not like she smoked it after the track meet, after she broke the record, and then they discovered that she failed the test. If it was in her system while she was running, that means if she still had marijuana in her system and she still ran so fast that she broke the record, that's even more impressive. But again, because she was found with marijuana in her system, that record is erased. Like it never happened. We really need to, in society, we really need to get a little better, and we really need to move up, and we really need to figure out what really causes issues, what really does not cause issues, what can be helped, what cannot help. We really need to start putting these things on the books instead of literally just saying, oh, that's unfair, that shouldn't happen. This really need to come to a point where if it's not affecting you, you should mind your own business. This doesn't affect anybody, mind your own business. But again, if you're literally talking about marijuana as a banned substance in the year 2021, not only do I not think that you was not paying attention, I just don't think you even cared. I don't even think you kept up with the times. If you still constantly think that marijuana this day and age is, I don't know, a performance enhancing drug more dangerous than alcohol, I don't know exactly what to take it. So my next story is, again, why I got the title of the Olympics, is that they actually has banned a product called Soul Cap. Now, a swimming cap, and I'm going to read a little bit of something. A swimming cap designed for natural hair created by a Black-owned company will not be allowed at the upcoming Olympics Games in Tokyo. The International Swimming Federation, FINA or FINA, rejected an application submitted last year by the British brand Soul Cap for its product to be officially recognized. The decision means the cap cannot be worn at an upcoming game, the company said. Soul Cap makes swimming caps designed to protect thick, curly, and voluptuous hair. FINA said the cap does not, and this is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard, FINA said that the cap does not follow the natural form of the head. I have no idea what that means at all. That the natural form of the head. And I'm going to see, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to show you exactly what it is that they're banning, because apparently this is just such a huge deal to them. So this is the cap. This is the cap right here. I'll make it a little bigger. This is the cap right here that they're banning because I honestly don't know why they're banning it. I know what they said, but I don't get the meaning behind it. It's a swimming cap for natural hair. But they always, I don't want to say that is it may be a tendency of racism in it. I don't even want to say that it may even be racism in this. I just honestly think they just don't care. And they don't care to try to change anything. And it may be, and the reason I said it may be or may not be, but I think it may be a little bit of racism in it is because they've already decided that certain gymnasts, black gymnasts, can't do certain things when they're in the when they're doing their routine because it gives them an advantage over other gymnasts. I thought that was the point of sports. That is in sports, let's call it the way it is. It's not fair because there are certain people who are natural athletes. It's not fair. Get over it. That's just the way it is. It's not fair that you have basketball players that 6'9" and can shoot a three, but they're natural athletes. They're not banning centers from hitting threes because they're able to do it. They're not banning 7-foot players from slam dunking because it's unfair to the other basketball players who can't slam. And they're doing it, but they only in the Olympics where they go, you can't do these certain routines. You can't wear these certain caps. On the basis of the fact that I would think that it's unfair that you would get an advantage because you already got it. And I know that they haven't said this. It's coming from me, and it's my opinion that the fact that they still constantly think that black athletes has an advantage in certain things simply because they're black. And any other thing that would help for the advancement of that, no, we gotta ban that. No, we can't give you something like that. That's just, we can't do that. And they showing their hands simply by saying, I'm sorry, by saying again, it does not follow the natural form of the head. What the hell is the natural form of the head? Everybody's head is not shaped the same in any way, shape, or form. There's always natural shape of the. If you're gonna lie, make it a good lie. Don't just come up with BS just to sit there and lie. Come up with something. Come up with something that actually remotely makes sense. But no, you don't want to do that. You just want to sit there and think that certain things is going to give a black athlete a certain advantage. So we're not going to do it. We're going to ban it. We're going to slow you down. We're going to hold you back. We're going to try to even the playing field. Being an Olympic athlete, you automatically has an advantage. You're an Olympic athlete. You are an Olympic peak to be in the Olympics to go against other peak Olympians in the sport. Whatever it is, gymnast, running, field, it doesn't matter. You already have an advantage as an athlete because you are actually competing against the world. Not against your state, not against your city, not against the country, the whole entire world. You don't think there's already an advantage to that? And you're trying to ban something simply because. But again, if you already think, if you're a black athlete, you already have an advantage because you're a black athlete. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling myself what I am going to do. If it starts getting to the point where they're more or less that's trying to add more things to what black people, because I literally remember a while back that they said they had no problem with kneeling at the Olympics. They had no problem with Black Lives Matter apparel or any type of apparel like that. In case you don't know, yeah, they changed their mind. No Black Lives Matter or any activist apparel whatsoever. You can't wear it at the Olympics. That you can't do it. Any kneeling, no, you can't do that. So I'm at the point now, the more they're going to start taking away things, the more I'm just realize I'm just not going to watch the Olympics. And I know me not watching the Olympics ain't going to change nothing. It's personally for me. I'm not going to sit here and waste my time for you to sit there and say you're representing a country when you're really not representing the country. You're representing what the Olympics want you to represent under a certain guidelines, under a certain style, because whatever. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It's the Olympics, it's our rules, and you need to follow it. So, again, I'm not being arrogant. I know my one person that's not going to look at any Olympics, that's probably not going to change any numbers, but I just feel like I'm not going to waste my time looking at something, understanding the background of what's going on with black athletes in the Olympics. I'm just not going to waste my time doing that. I'm just not going to do it. What's good, Marlon? What's good? I wish I could address you, but hello. How are you today? They let Phelps compete after he was caught with all that weed. I don't know about that. Is that true? I didn't know that if that happens. I know he had an alcohol problem and they had no issue with that. I don't remember them ever saying, "Oh, you have an alcohol problem, so we're going to take away your medals," or "Oh, you have an alcohol problem, so we're going to erase your records." But if you're correct, I'll look it up, of course. But if he was caught with weed and they didn't do nothing about it, that's not a nail in the coffin. That is. And let me put it to you this way. I'm going to go by exactly what you say, that he did get caught with a lot of weed. I can already hear all the saying, yeah, he was caught with a lot of weed, but he didn't smoke any. There was no weed in his system. He was just caught with a lot of weed. I mean, I can literally hear them saying that. Yeah, they had the weed on them, but we're in between Olympics. We're in between the Olympics. He didn't have weed in his system when he was swimming, so there's nothing we can do. Now it was weed too. Okay, so he had an alcohol problem and he had weeds on. And like I said, it is probably true, but it's like, again, when we tested him, he didn't have any weed in his system, and just because he was caught with it, oh well. What can we do? There's nothing we can do. When we tested him, there was nothing wrong. So we're not going to touch your records. We're not going to take away any medals. It's I can't fundamentally watch the Olympics without feeling a certain type of way. And by this time, if this something doesn't feel right with me, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fake the funk anymore or pretend like something is not happening or whatever. I done that for so many years, and so many years, quite honestly, either I got screwed or I got nothing out of it. So my deal is, if I just can't, especially, I'm really, really going to feel something watching track and field, which is my favorite sport in the Olympics. I really don't watch anything else but track and field. I'm going to feel a certain type of way if the record is like below, so to speak, below what Sha'Carri ran, especially if somebody gets the gold for it. Because I'm just going to constantly keep thinking in my head, are you serious? So, and it's not going to be that. It is not going to be the young lady's fault. But I am going to be thinking that, oh my God, the only reason you got the gold is because Sha'Carri wasn't there. And I'll be telling the truth. If I look at the record and it is above what her record-breaking numbers is, I'm going to think that. It's automatically going to pop in my head that the only reason you got the gold, the only reason you got the silver, the only reason you got the bronze is because the real fastest person in the United States wasn't there. And I'm going to feel a certain type of way towards that person, and it's going to be unfair to them, but I'm serious. It's going to happen. I am going to think that, and rightfully so. Boycott the Olympics. Yeah. I mean, if it comes, like I said, I just cannot see myself watching the Olympics, knowing what I know about certain things, about what's going on in the background, and be comfortable watching this and giving them my numbers of watching it. Like I said, what's about track and field? Let's see. She was wrong, man, bottom line, and we calms nerves, so that Ali may give her an advantage over other nervous runners. Let me put it to you this way. You actually at this point is running so you can get on the Olympic team to represent the United States. If you still nervous, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe this wasn't for you. And being more calm, and by the way, being more calm than the next person, then we can look at every Olympics and say the exact same thing. Every person that comes in second place can sit there and say, well, I only came in second place because I was more nervous than the other person. No, no, dude. Or ma'am. Michael Phillips incident happened at the Olympics and he was caught on camera smoking a bomb. Oh, you know what? Do remember that. I do remember that. And I was correct. It was at the Olympics. So of course, if he did a drug test during the Olympics or after the Olympics or everything else, then yeah, that's what they're gonna say. That hey, when we tested him, he didn't have any marijuana in his system. So that's what their excuse is always going to literally be is you have marijuana in your system. We don't care if you use marijuana, you just can't have it in your system at the time, regardless of what the circumstances is. It's a rule that shouldn't be on the books anymore, basically. They all were nervous. Yes, they all were nervous. We're not talking about high school track meet where you're just sitting there trying to win a little plastic little necklace around your neck to say first place on it. You're trying to get on the Olympic team to represent the United States. You're all going to be nervous. And by the way, again, so sorry if you lost the race because you was nervous. You got plenty of time to get over it. Really, this ain't people who just all of a sudden picked up some track shoes and decided to run the year before. These people that have been doing it for a very long time. You have plenty of time to get over your nervousness. And if that's the fact that if you didn't get on the team because you was nervous, do I really want you representing the United States and really losing? If you can't even get over your nervousness and you're in the United States, what are you going to do when the world is watching you? When you're going against other athletes from around the world? Sorry, not sorry. Would you justify this if she was a white woman? Doesn't justify breaking the rule? Yeah, I would say the same thing. I'm not saying this because she's a black woman. I'm saying this because it's a stupid rule that nobody even pays attention to anymore. Black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Native American, it's a stupid rule. It shouldn't even be around. It took the NFL years from pumping NFL players, black, white, Latino NFL players full of pain pills. Nobody said anything about it, even after they said marijuana is the one thing that does help. And now all of a sudden, it took the bargaining chip of the last NFL bargaining for them to even get that put in, even after years of them saying, hey, it's not a performance-enhancing drug. It actually helps us a lot more than these drugs that you keep pumping us with that's really tearing us up. It's an antiquated rule. Marijuana is not a performance-enhancing drug. It's just not. Bruh, ask any of those athletes, they all say it. I need you to finish that sentence. Bruh, they say what? They all say it. But, you know, it has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact that if you're constantly keep thinking to yourself that marijuana is still the boogeyman that you know the world has made it out to be, then it's still old thinking. The one thing that I said about the event, and if you coming in with me saying the advantage of the black athlete, I was more or less was talking about the soul cap for the reason that it's not. You know what? I got to constantly keep looking up because I keep forgetting because it doesn't follow the natural form of the head. Come on, really? What literally what else could it possibly be? Because what you're really telling black athletes is you're gonna have to make a decision between your hair or swimming. Your dream of swimming or your hair. Which one you want to do? For something that it's not gonna affect anything. That was a terrible excuse. It's a terrible excuse. That was bad. She said she isn't asking for empathy. She did what she did and she owns up to it. I'm disappointed, yes, but I have compassion not to come for her because we all fall that. And the funny thing about it is there's a lot of people who was really happy that this happened. And they was already happy that this happened because, you know, they already had an issue with the bright hair and the long fingernails and the long eyelashes and the brash attitude and everything else. They already was happy that this happened. And and I really do feel for her because I really think this was something that shouldn't have happened. And I really honestly wish she didn't apologize, but I do get what she's saying because I really think she really felt like she let some people down. And I don't think she did. I think she's a human being who was trying to get over the loss of her biological mother in a state that marijuana is legal. I don't even know what else to add to that. And for anybody to think that this is for anybody to think after you see what these athletes do day in and day out, night in and night out, working and something, you know, going through all the rigmarole to try to get to the Olympics, eating the right way, training the right way for hours on end to get to the Olympics, for you to say, well, I'm sorry that you can't do because of an antiquated rule that everybody else in the world have seen that is fine. I feel sorry for her. And I feel sorry for her for feeling sorry for herself. Because I just think it was not the right thing to do. Do they know that they could be tested? Yeah, they know they could be tested. They also probably knew, hey, it wasn't that big of a damn deal. They was wrong. Because, again, if there was ever a situation where this is not a black and white situation, this is it. This is not a black and white situation. This isn't a rule is a rule, and if you break it, there you go. It's just not. Nothing is going to be just as flat as that. A rule is a rule, and you broke it, so voila. Because if that's the case, then I need every person that's in jail for selling marijuana. I need them out because that rule that put them in is not even a rule or a law anymore. Now let's see it happen. If it's so black and white, they broke a rule that's no longer a rule. They broke a law that's no longer a law. So if they broke a law that's no longer a law, hey, okay, the very day, the day that they signed the paper saying marijuana is legal, every person that's in jail for selling marijuana or smoking marijuana or whatever, let them out. If it's just that black and white, but it's not, and they're not. Whether you agree with a rule or not, you can't break it. Okay. So again, every person that's in jail right now for selling marijuana or smoking marijuana should be let out because it's not a rule anymore. It's not a law anymore.
In some states.
So every state that has signed marijuana as being legal, you can now let all those people that have been selling marijuana all the time, you can let them out of jail. If we're just going to be that flat about it. It's going to be just that black. This going to be that black and white about it. Just, well, it was black and white when no. If you say so, I just don't think it works that way. And like I said, it's the funny thing about it is that marijuana is still on the list as a banned substance, but alcohol isn't. And we have more alcohol poisoning than anything else. I've not read one marijuana poisoning. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened, but I haven't seen it. Nobody says a freaking word about alcohol at all. As a matter of fact, when it comes to alcohol, you celebrate with alcohol. But no. So, and by the way, whoever it is that's put these things on there, could you tell me your name? Because it's no. I just like to get to a point where, okay. Here's my issue. Why I say it's not black and white. It's the same equivalent to me as laws on the books that shouldn't even be laws on the book. There's a certain thing called blue laws. Blue laws are laws that literally is on the books, such as you can't go to church. You can't go to church between 8 and 9 o'clock on a Monday. That's a law on the books somewhere. And I'm just making up something, but there's certain things called blue laws where there are laws on the books and they're broken darn near every day. I don't see anybody going after these people. They're on the books. They're there. Blue laws, yeah. There are certain, look them up. There are certain rules. There are certain laws in every state. In every state, they have laws that's, woo, they so stupid. They have laws that's still on the books. Why nobody enforce these laws anymore? Because it was stupid. That's why they don't enforce the laws anymore. Because it was dumb when they wrote it. Okay, let me take that back. Let me put it that way. Let me put it a different way. I ain't gonna say it was stupid. I would say that at the time that the law was written, fit those times. So yes, in 2021, we can look at the laws and go, "Oh, really? Are you serious? That's a law. That's stupid. That's really, but that doesn't make any sense." At the time that the law was written, it made perfect sense for that time. It's 2021, and we still have rules and laws on the books about marijuana use. At that time, it was just the rules shouldn't be there. And if y'all feel like that she broke the rules, fine. I just disagree. She broke a rule and she needs to work for what she broke the rule with. My argument is the rule shouldn't have been there in the damn first place. It's old and it's tired and it's a stupid boogeyman mentality that marijuana is bad. So if we're gonna agree to disagree, then let's do that. She broke the rule. She needs to be punished for the rule, but she broke a rule that shouldn't have been a rule to begin with. Not in 2021. True, I agree. But if they want to get you for it when they can, your job is not to get caught doing it. I agree. And you got some people out there that's real good at not getting caught. Real good at not getting caught. And I totally agree with the fact that she may now, and I don't know this. I'm not going to sit there and try to get into her head and think that maybe she could have, they're going to find marijuana in my system. It's not going to be that big of a deal. They're going to let it go. I don't think they're going to find the marijuana system because the time frame is over. I'm not going to try to think why we do it. But again, it's the fact that you was going after your dream at the same time that your biological mom died. I really don't think you was in your right frame of mind. And she may not have been. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah. I just think it's just an old rule that shouldn't be on there. So what else do we have in the news? So the Trump Organization has been, I ain't gonna say indicted, they have been accused of several things, and I wish I can bring it up, but it's a lot of things. And a report came out that Trump wanted this to happen. The arrest, what we're going to accuse you of, he wanted it all to happen because he was going to use it later on as, see, look what they're doing to us. Look what they're doing to your president. Look what they're trying to do. They're trying to railroad us. See what they are wrong. And what happened was he was being interviewed at the time, and he said it on TV. This is just disgraceful, and how they gonna rate? Hold on 1 second, because I don't want to get these names wrong. So Weissenberg. So Weissenberg turned himself in today. He's a CFO for the Trump company. So when Trump was being interviewed and he was doing his rhetoric because he's looking at he wasn't looking at the TV screen, obviously, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. Because he was just talking the same thing. Oh, this is a disgrace, and look what they're doing. They always been coming after us. They always the leftist type of thing. The interviewer popped in and go, did you know that Weisberg came in handcuffs? Dead silence. Dead silence. For about a good 10 seconds, Trump didn't say a word. And I think at that time, or how does that saying go? It's about at this time you realize you done fucked up. At this time, I think Trump realized I done fucked up. because all he thought he was going to do and stuff that he's already been used to is just walk in, big group of people, 50 people, his posse behind him walking in and everything else. As soon as the guy said, yeah, but one of your guys that walked in was walking in handcuffs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now it done got real. Then he literally did come back in saying that well, this is disgrace. He's a good man, and they shouldn't do that to him. He's a good man, but the whole thing. Do I think something's going to happen? I do now. I didn't think before. I really didn't think they was going to do anything. I always thought they was just going to sit there and just come up with 50,000 excuses of why they wasn't going to do anything. But I'm shocked they even got this far. And whatever. I'd like to see what happens. I'm going to keep my eye open on it. So, the other thing. So, I'm going to answer 2 troll questions, really, because I looked the guys up. So, my last video, the title was, Are Conservative Christians Killing Christianity? And QAnon turned on Trump, kind of. Now, you could tell when somebody's really not actually watching the videos, they're just talking just to talk, or they're just asking questions as to ask questions. You can tell that they're trolling, and they decided to ask a question simply because of the title. They didn't read it. So the first question was, what side believes in abortions? What side of what? What side of Christianity? What side of conservative? Which one believes in abortion? It's not even a question. Which side of who? Doesn't matter. He saw conservative. He saw Christianity. Let's talk about abortion. That was it. He just wanted to get that out that we're going to have to talk about abortion. The second question was anons, which, by the way, folks, I didn't even know he wrote that like that until my wife brought it up, but I'm going to read exactly what he put. Anons will never turn on Trump. He will keep gaining power until the truth is exposed for everyone to see. One, at this point in time, the only people who's actually rooting for Trump was diehard Trump supporters. So even certain conservative, his popularity and his numbers have fallen dramatically. Why do you think that he doesn't even do the blog anymore? The little blog that, the blogs that we used to do in the 80s and 90s, that's taken off now. He doesn't do that anymore. Not because he doesn't have time, but because the numbers were low. Nobody was reading them. You would think, as popular as he is, as powerful as he is, if he puts a blog up, it should have blew up. Everybody and their mama should have been on that thing. Nope. He dropped it because nobody was watching. Nobody cared. And at this point in time, nobody even cared. I even got the report that last Saturday's convention that he had, that people started walking out because he started saying the same rhetoric over and over again, which is why I titled QAnon turned on Trump, kinda. And I said kinda because they may still support him, but they were saying that your stuff is boring, because you're saying the same stuff that we've heard all summer and all spring. I apologize. All spring, all winter, everything after the election. It's the exact same thing. And I have a theory, not proven, and it's my show, so I can have a theory all I want. There was 2 conventions that he was supposed to have. One was a convention that was canceled because of, I honestly don't know why it was canceled. It was just canceled. Another one was canceled for whatever reason, and they gave the reason. I just can't remember what it was. But so far, he had 2 canceled shows that was canceled, and they had the reason why. My theory is they didn't cancel it before because of the reason that they gave. Because I think one of them said they was canceling because of partisanship, and I don't even understand what that meant. Partisanship. We're living in a time where people just start making sentences without finishing them, and you're supposed to fill it in because it doesn't make any sense. One of them was canceled because of partisanship. My theory is it was canceled because they didn't have the numbers for people to come out, and it would look bad that you started off with a large group of fields and fields of people, and now you got enough people coming out that gonna fill a high school gymnasium. And you don't want that to look bad. So you, Trump, and your organization canceled it and blamed it on something else because the numbers are not there. So I don't know what this power thing that you're talking about. Unless you're a diehard Trump person, that's the only people that's watching them. So I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to get on off of here. I just want to get it out of my system because it's Friday. My wife wasn't with me. She's home now. But, you know, I figured at this point in time that instead of me twiddling on my thumbs and not doing something, I'm going to do a video. And when I do a video, again, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe on every video that I do. Please do not forget to ring that bell so you know when my videos are coming out. And I thank everybody who participated in today's show. I really do. But for a treat for just me, I'm just going to show this video again because it was just too doggone funny. So sorry, not sorry.
I just got off work, and the first thing my wife said to me was, "Hey, do you mind doing the dishes?" You know what? Why don't you do the dishes? I've been working all day. You've been sitting at home on your ass. You know what? I'm going to go tell her. Dude, hey, honey.
Wash the fucking dishes and shut the fuck up! Fucking psychopath bullshit!
I just can't get over you got launched. That is going to go down as one of my favorite videos. I may not ever erase that video. I may not. If there's every other video that I erase, I can't erase that one. That's going to go down as my favorite video. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, that is my show for tonight. Will I be on tomorrow? Will I be on? No, I'm not going to be on Sunday. Yeah. Will I be on Monday? Maybe. We'll see. Who knows? And you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that if there's some late breaking news, I'm coming right back on. You know that by now. But please do not, once again, please do not forget to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.